Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. Today, I am your presenter, Alian Christopher. Let's take a look at the headlines for today. Carnival Cruise Line to return to Dominica's shores. The MP for Wesley calls for more attention from the government of Dominica. And Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupts. Stay tuned for these and other stories when CBN4's Primetime News return. We'll be right back.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom. Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News package. UNICEF and World Food Programme, WFP, regional directors for Latin America and the Caribbean have signed an agreement aimed at supporting the preparedness of government social protection programs to be better equipped to provide cash-based transfers to respond to emergencies in the region. UNICEF's Marita Percival and WFP's Miguel Barreto signed the agreement at the start of a workshop at the Goodwill Parish Hall on Thursday to review the emergency cash-based transfer program the two agencies supported in the Caribbean country, which was devastated by Hurricane Maria in 2017. Minister for Ecclesiastical Affairs, Family and Gender Affairs, Honorable Catherine Lady Daniel, stated that in December of 2017, the government of Dominica, through the then Ministry of Social Services, Family and Gender Affairs, in collaboration with WFP and UNICEF, implemented the emergency cash transfer program.
It was in response to the impact of Hurricane Maria on vulnerable families. And the aim of this program was to create resilience and responsive capabilities in the lives of vulnerable persons affected by the passage of Maria. After discussions with the two agencies, it was decided that we would not only focus on the public assistance beneficiaries, but the program should be extended to the new vulnerable population who were severely affected and who had lost their livelihood and were not receiving public assistance. So we had two categories: public assistance, PAP, and non-public assistance, non-PAP.
The 3-month program implemented by the government of Dominica with support from the two agencies in the aftermath of the Category 5 Hurricane Maria provided emergency cash transfer to thousands of affected persons and children. Payments helped families meet their basic needs, including food, clothing, hygiene items, school supplies for children, and reconstruction materials.
Emergency Cash Transfer, ECT, program reached more than 24,000 people or 7,400 households, including almost 6,000 children. It is the first example worldwide of a WFP-UNICEF partnership of this kind. UNICEF and WFP are also continuing to provide technical assistance to the government to ensure that the system is more shock-ready, prepared, and responsive in case of future disasters.
The agreement expresses the intention of the two agencies to engage in regional collaboration in areas such as preparation of feasibility assessments to determine if a cash-based response is useful in a given country or context, co-financing cash-based transfer programs, development and/or strengthening key program tools to effectively implement cash-based transfer programs in an emergency context, program implementation and capacity strengthening of government partners, as well as monitoring and evaluation. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Discover Dominica Authority and the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association begin the observance of the month of May as Tourism Awareness Month. Given the challenges facing the sector in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, the focus will be on climate resiliency in the tourism sector. Scheduled activities including radio programs, social media posts, visits to schools, activities for students, outreach to tourism stakeholders, Dumbfesta and jazz and Creole events. Director of Tourism Colin Piper states, the purpose of Tourism Awareness Month is to continually raise public awareness of the importance of the tourism sector to our economy. Specifically, we want to inform and educate the public that we can play our part in making tourism industry better. This year's activity will focus on educating tourism stakeholders on how they can prepare for natural disasters, determining the concerns of the stakeholders and developing policies and plans to address those concerns, particularly around the climate resilience thrust. Dumbfesta and Hikefest events are also included as part of the activities for Tourism Awareness Month. Meantime, still with tourism, Senator Robert Tong, Minister for Tourism and Culture, has confirmed that Carnival Cruise Line, a favorite of many, will be back here in Dominica. Senator Tong made the announcement at the third meeting of the third session of the 9th Parliament. He said Carnival Cruise Line will begin with 2 visits in the month of June.
Many persons always say they want Carnival Cruise Lines to come back to Dominica. That was one of the cruise lines that made everybody happy. They spent a lot more money in Dominica. And I want to confirm that Carnival Cruise Lines has confirmed that they will be here. 2 ships 2 visits in July, 2 visits in August, 2 visits in September, 3 in October, and 1 in November. What this signals is that before we had cruise lines coming during the summer months, we now will be getting that back. They had to move back to July because of the storm, but I dare say that we are moving in the right direction. So I want to say to the stakeholders that don't be worried, we are moving in the right direction to help you.
That was Minister for Tourism and Culture, Senator Robert Tong. And stay tuned, we'll be back with more news right after this break.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom. talk, dear man, never other that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
Welcome back once again. The Member of Parliament for the Wesley Constituency is calling on the government of Dominica to pay more attention to his constituency. The MP for the area said that the condition of the roads in the Wesley constituency is of a deplorable state and has branded it as road in holes.
We cannot say that is holes in the roads. It is roads in the holes, Mr. Speaker. And I'm asking of this government, I'm asking of the new Minister of Works, I'm asking of him, please, to pay some attention to the Woodford Hill Main Road. It is in a poor state. And I am begging that some attention be paid to the holes in Woodford Hill so it can become some roads. I'm really asking for that.
Basil noted that he has had to ask residents to be patient on the issue arising in their constituency. He went on to say, however, that the government must not provoke the people.
Because what is happening with Woodford Hill, Mr. Speaker, it is not the best thing. When we speak, Mr. Speaker, to the Mangrove Gutter Road, that road was already bad. They came in, Mr. Speaker, to attempt to do some work on the road, started and left the road in a worse condition. That the least they could do is put the road back how they met it. Fine, put it back, it's bad. But at least just put it back how they met it. But to put it worse than how they met it, it cannot be right. It can't be right. And I'm calling the government to, let's get serious. Pay some attention to the Wesley constituency, because the situation at the constituency with respect to roads, with respect to employment, with respect to healthcare, Mr. Speaker, is a challenge. The community is suffering. The community is suffering.
The Member of Parliament for the Wesley constituency suggested that the government should negotiate funds to go towards improving the lives of the citizens of the country, with $1 million of these funds placed in the Wesley constituency for road rehabilitation.
Why is all of this is happening on roads, Mr. Speaker? We have noticed $4.1 million placed on the York Valley Bridge. There's no road to the bridge and no road from the bridge. But the areas in Woodford Hill, people live there and the farmers farm there. But we put $4.1 million for Maniku and Aguti to run on a bridge because there's no road to, not from the bridge. Okay? So if you are going to negotiate $4 million, I think we should negotiate $4 million to go towards improving the lives of the citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and had just $1 million of that. $1 million being placed in the Wesley constituency roads, in Woodford Hill Village Road, in the Mangrove Gutter Road, in the Droberton Road. Just $1 million of that, it would make a big difference towards the lives of the people of the Wesley and Woodford Hill constituency, Mr. Speaker.
And in other news, Minister for Health Dr. Kenneth Daru has announced that clearing works for construction on the controversial Marriott Hospital have commenced. The Marriott Hospital has been a subject of discussion for many months. The hospital was first closed due to severe termite infestation and then for mold and fungus in 2016.
We are moving forward in Marriott. In fact, as we speak, work has started on clearing of the site at Marriott.
Daru said that clearance was given by the Environmental Health Department to use the same site to construct the health facility.
You'd also recall that some months ago we would have led the country that we have finally decided on the same site of the old Marriott Hospital. For the construction, we would have given the clearance by Environmental Health, because we really call that one of the major issues here, which I think caused the shutdown in the first instance, was the issue of termites. So we would have had the place treated, and we would have received clearance from the pest control people, Environmental Health, that the site is safe to rebuild.
Clearing work started at the Marriott Hospital earlier this week. The government of Mexico has already committed $5 million to the construction of the new Marriott Hospital. And also in the news, Miriam Blanchard, under the leadership of the Prime Minister of Dominica, has risen to the challenge in ensuring that the people of Roseau North constituency are well taken care of. The Minister for Planning and Economic Development said she accepted the challenge of being the caretaker for the Roseau North after reviewing a statement made by Honorable Danny Luge, the MP for the area.
Madam Speaker, like I said, as an obedient resident of Roseau North, I've taken up the mantle of looking after Roseau North and ensuring that the people of Roseau North feel the love and care of the Roosevelt Skerrit administration. And my parliamentary representative who handed me that role knows that I am working and the Labour Party is visible in the Roseau North constituency. As
stated by Blanchard, like everybody, she was affected by the hurricane, but what was important is her commitment to the people and to her oath.
Out there doing what was necessary to bring comfort and assistance to the residents of the Roseau North constituency. And I did it without thinking because it was the right thing to do. And my parliamentary representative clearly now appreciates it because he's looking at me for a smile, and I assume that that smile is one of admiration. Thank you for that. Madam Speaker, not to mention, I was following the lead of a kind, helpful, caring, thoughtful, and concerned political leader in the name of Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Madam Speaker.
Minister Blanchard also noted that she is well aware of the challenges facing the island and its people. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more right after this break.
Sweet talk, dear man, have a lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom. Sweet talk, dear man, have a lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back. In world news, a volcanic eruption has spewed molten rocks and hazardous gases from the ground in a small community on Hawaii's Big Island, sending people fleeing from their homes as trees burned and the threat of more destruction is feared. The volcano erupted late Thursday afternoon, spurting lava in Liliani Estates, a community of about 1,700 people near the Big Island's eastern edge. Authorities ordered residents of Liliani Estates and Lanipuna Gardens to evacuate to two community centers which are serving as shelters. The eruption came after hundreds of earthquake shocks the eastern side of the Big Island over 4 days, and residents had been warned an eruption was possible. Destructive molten flows weren't the only concern. Volcanic eruptions can release potentially dangerous sulfur dioxide, and fire department personnel have detected high levels of the gas in the evacuation area, the Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency stated. Exposure to high levels of sulfur dioxide could be life-threatening, according to the Federal Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. Indian authorities have warned citizens they are facing 5 days of isolated thunderstorms and high winds after dangerous weather left more than 114 people dead across northern parts of the country. Since Wednesday, fierce winds and lightning strikes created by a powerful dust storm have led to the deaths of scores of people in the states of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, and injured hundreds of more, according to local officials. The Indian Meteorological Department said more high winds, dust storms and isolated thunderstorms were forecasted for the affected areas in the next 5 days. An official with the Rajasthan Disaster Management and Relief Department said a yellow category warning had been issued for the state for the next 5 days. Yellow means be aware. If the warning is raised to red or orange, then residents need to take action to protect themselves. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more after the break.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
Welcome to CBN4 Sports segment. 11 schools converged on the Jolly John Park in the Kalinago territory for the final round of the Sports Division Primary Schools Mini Volleyball Festival. The W.S. Stevens Primary School made it a double, with the boys winning that division and the girls winning the girls division. The boys won over the Siniku Primary School 2-0 in the boys final, while the Will Strathmore Stevens Primary School, the girls won over the Paybush Primary School 2-0. And in cricket, Cricket West Indies wishes to acknowledge a report from the International Cricket Council (ICC) regarding the suspension of fast bowler Ransford Beaton. The ICC is reporting that Beaton has failed an independent assessment and will not be permitted to bowl in international cricket. Beaton will therefore join the fast bowling camp now on in Antigua as part of his remedial program, following which he will undergo a reassessment process, which, if successful, he will be allowed to participate at the international level. Beaton was reported for suspect action during the second ODI against New Zealand last December. The ICC noted that the international suspension will also be recognized and enforced by all national cricket federations for domestic cricket events played in their own jurisdictions, but with the consent of Cricket West Indies, Beaton may be able to play in domestic events in the Caribbean. And India's all-rounder Hardik Pandya and wicket-keeper batsman Dinesh Karthik join an ICC World 11 for the high-profile T20 International against the West Indies at Lord's on the 31st of May, being organized to raise funds for stadium reconstruction in the Caribbean damaged by hurricanes last year. The squad is led by England's limited overs captain Owen Morgan, with Shahid Afridi and Shoaib Malik, both Pakistanis, Shakib Al Hassan and Tamim Iqbal, both Bangladeshis, Thisara Perera from Sri Lanka and Rashid Khan, Afghanistan. The remaining players will be announced in the coming days. And after earning a gritty overtime win over the Raptors in Game 1 of the East semi-finals, the Cavs won Game 2 in convincing fashion. Cleveland's game plan of feeding the ball to Kevin Love early paid dividends in the long run. Love, who has struggled throughout the postseason, scored 10 first-quarter points and finished with 31 points and 11 rebounds for the night. LeBron James was sensational, finishing with a game-high 43 points on 19 of 28 shooting, a playoff career best 14 assists and 8 rebounds. The Cavs also benefited from the scoring of George Hill with 13 points, J.R. Smith with 15 points and Jeff Green 14 points. It was a tale of two halves as Toronto got off to a solid start behind Kyle Lowry's 18 first-half points. The Raptors took a 2-point lead into the locker room, but Lowry scored just 3 second-half points to finish with 21 for the night. DeMar DeRozan led the way for Toronto with 24 points, while the reserves contributed 42 points. Toronto now heads to Cleveland down 2-0. The Raptors have an all-time postseason record of 5-0 at the Quicken Loans Arena. And that takes us to the end of today's Primetime News package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 team, I'm Alan Christopher saying thank you for joining, and please join us again next time.